Bold predictions. It's a whole season on this show. What do you believe that's really bold, but you're brave enough to state publicly and risk shame and embarrassment if it falls flat on its face? Well, here are some of them. This one's creative. This is a good one. Good friend, DG in Houston, good friend, he said, at least 3 of these teams will be in the Final Four. And he puts LSU, Oklahoma, Ohio State, and Clemson. Ohio State has the first best odds to win it all. Clemson 7th, LSU 9th, Oklahoma 17th. Now, I'm going to put a 9.75 on this prediction. I think, Oklahoma's over-under win total 6.5. I'm a little higher on them. It's going to be hard for Oklahoma to make the playoff, even if I'm right about them, because their schedule's tough. But even if they all were to make it, and 3 of them have to make the playoff, by the way, even then you would still need bracket luck. What if 2 of them face off in a first round or second round? You've got to have all of them. You got to have all of them advance. So predicting the Final Four, predicting 75% of the Final Four is tough. So I'm putting 9.75 on that one. Next up, this one's not so bold. Daniel in Nashville, a fellow Nashvilleian, he said Texas A&M has the best rushing attack in the SEC this year. Yeah, that's like a 7.5 for me. I think they may be the best rushing team in the SEC this year. They got 3 really good tailbacks. They've got a good offensive line coming back. They've got what I would say is a plenty complementary enough group of talent, just offense in general, but wide receiver. I'm thinking quarterback here. I'm thinking about how they don't have to do one thing. It's not imperative, that they do one thing. It's not like watching Notre Dame last year. Notre Dame's got to run the ball. They don't trust themselves to throw the ball. A&M, I think, will trust Marcel Reed. I think they trust their wide receiver unit. And because of that, I think the hallmark of their offense will still be the ground game. I think it's the overall identity of that team. And I think skill-wise, they're plenty good enough to where they may lead the league in that category. So I'm putting a 7.5 on that. I think it may end up being my prediction. Hey, quick timeout. Check and see if you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. If you're not, I humbly ask that you click subscribe. It's free. It doesn't sign you up for anything. What it does is it helps us keep this show free so we can just do college football year-round. All right, back to the clip. SEC, if we predict that, I may actually think A&M's going to do that. Next up, here's one that's bold. It's in the 9s. We'll see what we put on it. We're going to Overland Park, Kansas here. Arizona State repeats as Big 12 champ. They make it to the national championship game. Oh, wow. Okay, so 9.25. They're number 2 in returning production. There are 9 Big 12 teams that are plus 1,300 or lower odds, I guess, or higher odds to win the conference. That just means, in typical fashion, the Big 12, like half of the teams have very comparable odds. It's just a crapshoot. Texas Tech and Arizona State and Kansas State all have the same odds to win it. Baylor and Utah it's almost a 5-way tie atop the Big 12 for best odds to win the conference. It's just crazy. Tightly compacted. So I disagree with that. I've already bet Arizona State. I do think that, I wouldn't say they're the runaway, but I do think they're the clear favorite in my eyes. But it's the Big 12, so anything can happen. However, to give you an idea of how compacted the Big 12 is, so I told you there are 9 teams that are plus 1,300 or better to win the conference. In the ACC, there are 5 teams plus 1,300 or better. So this is not normal. It's normal by Big 12 standards, but it's not normal anywhere else. I'm going to put a 9.25 on that because even if they make it, they still got to go to the national title game. Now, I do think there are 2 talent rosters in that league that if they get good and they're good enough to win the conference, they actually could make a run in this year's playoff field. Arizona State and Texas Tech are those 2 teams. Now, they may lose 6 games, but if they click, I actually do think on the high end they have the talent rosters to make it there. Unlikely, but not impossible. 9.25 on the boldness scale. And let's go to the land of Lincoln by way of Pennsylvania. This is Mike from State College. He said, it may be bold or not, but the win total is over under 7.5 for Illinois. I think they'll be a playoff team. I put an 8.5 on this. I don't think it's that crazy. It's a top 5 returning production team from a 10-win season last year. Now, just as sure as I say that, I talked to you 30 minutes ago about how this is not a carryover sport. You don't just get to carry all that over, but it's a sign that you're returning a lot of proven production, including your quarterback. But it's not a magazine, it's a sport. And the reason I say that is a lot of these teams, like Oregon is going to be there every year. Ohio State's going to be there every year. Penn State's going to be very competitive every year. Illinois has not been that. So Illinois entering the season with expectation is a rarity. I think it was Fornelli, Tom Fornelli, I heard talking about this the other day. He was just talking about the history of Illinois and the history of Illinois coming off a good season. It's not good. And it makes sense. You get a little complacency, you lose your way a little bit. No one ever predicts that's going to happen. So there's a chance that that's a non-issue, but there's also a chance it does creep in a little bit. Also, everyone circles you now. Like USC goes to Champaign in late September, they're aware of that game. In a normal world, USC is not circling Illinois, nor is Ohio State, but everybody knows to be careful against you this year, which means you get everyone's best shot. Maybe you still win, but it's a lot tougher. So that water gets a lot deeper when you've got expectations around you. I'm going to put an 8.5 on the boldness scale there.